in this industry that I think doesn't really get talked about a lot is like that it's not just about salaries and what salary will actually pay your bills. It's the fact that it's a lifestyle. So like the numbers have to not only make sense in terms of like, you know, what you need to survive, but it also needs to make sense in the context of like they're asking for you to be away from home and on the road for extended periods of time,
right?
You know, like just and fully committed to this thing, and that's like it's a different equation than when you're negotiating a salary for a desk job where you're going to sleep in your own bed every night,
right?
You know, that's a different, complicated sort of thing. I know that for myself, when it comes to like even just like local gigs or whatever, it's like, yeah, money is important and there's a certain minimum bottom line for it to even make sense, or I'd rather just not even make any money that day. I'd rather just stay home,
right,
and have time off or whatever. But it's like, yeah, it's not just that it's money, it's also got to be like a certain like I know enough people now that, you know, there's people are always asking me like, oh, you should come work at this club, or you should like whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but it just would be a job. I would just be phoning it in. Like, I'm not passionate about the way I'm passionate about the bottom of the hill,
right?
You know, or even a level of passion that I can bring just filling in once every 2 or 3 months at like Hop Monk Novato or Little Saint in Healdsburg or something like that. It's like there's a certain level of like people might ask me to do a certain gig, and I'd almost rather, like, there's times where I'd rather just do something for free than actually take like a really low amount of money. It's kind of there's a weird equation that goes into that, like for me personally. And obviously with like long-term dedicated stuff like touring, that's not like feasible. That's not possible to be
right.
Like, oh, I'll do it, like I'll go out on the road for months with no salary. But I guess what I'm saying though is just that it all comes down to like how you total up the different columns in your head of like what's the most important, you know? It's like, oh, if you need me to do something, I'd rather just come in and just do it as a solid for a homie and like help you out and do it for free, and I don't really give a shit about the money. But I wouldn't want to be doing it and getting paid knowing I'm going to come in and do it like every week or every day or whatever, you know? It's
right.
like, you know.
Well, when I'm considering tours and negotiating, like the tour has to tick a majority of the boxes, and if it doesn't tick the boxes, then it's a non-starter for me.
Yeah.
You know. And you know, some of those boxes are like the basics, you know. There's some tours that try to pay you a different rate on travel days, or
right.
There's some tours that will not get everybody a room on overdrive days or whatever, days off on the bus. Like if you have to stop and let the driver rest for 8 hours, like they'll just get a couple of day rooms
for showers
yeah. Instead of getting everyone a day room.
Yeah.
Like those are basics. Those are just like, to me, these are the basics. And you have to, and things like that tell me how the organization thinks
right.
about us.
Yeah.
Like they dehumanize us. They don't think that we deserve whatever, the per diem that we're requesting. They don't think we deserve our own room on a day off. They don't think we deserve our full salary or our full rate on a travel day, or and the list goes on and on. But that tells me what kind of organization it is.
Yeah, it's indicative of other underlying problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they can't even operate on a human level, like how are they going to do the other stuff? You know? And that's really important to me, is how are we going to be treated out there?
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, money's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it is the music business after all, so we are out here trying to make money.
Yeah, well, and like you said about varying rates and things like that, it's like what is not understood or what is being missed in that is it's like it doesn't matter that we're not doing a show that day. Like it's like, okay, I understand from like the management's perspective, they're like, well, we're not making any money that day because we're not doing a show, and so we have to like structure a different budget or whatever. And it's like, well, that's true, but I'm also not sleeping in my own bed every night.
Right.
And like I'm still walking away from paying gigs I could have on any day of the week that I want them at home.
Right.
So there's an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing money every day that I'm out here and I'm not getting paid what I should be getting paid.
Right.
I could be doing that at home. So it's like that's the part where they don't, you know, like where whether they understand that or not, or they're just trying to protect their own profits or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. Like you said, it's more of like, it's like there's that certain initial checklist where you're like, okay, if it's not hitting these certain basics here, that's a really bad indicator of like, there's only going to be more warning flags up ahead.
Right.
You know, it's like if if we're starting from there, it's going to get even rougher and bumpier as we go.
And you know, you can kind of like shuffle the prioritization of those checkboxes around, and you know, let's say it's an artist that you really like and you love the music, but they're only offering you, you know, they're offering you $500 less a week than what you initially asked for. You got to be able to weigh those things, you know. It's like,
yeah,
will I take a $500 hit a week? You know, like, is it worth losing this gig with an artist that I really love over $500 a week? Can we make it up somewhere else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conversely, like if it's an artist that doesn't inspire you, and the money better be really good.
Yeah, you have to be a bit more mercenary about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, the how they weigh the value of all those different columns.
Yeah.
Of, you know, like, yeah, that's like it's a different equation for every person in every instance, really. I mean, I know I've certainly like made compromises before where it's like, well, you know, that's not exactly ideally what I would want from it, but it's like I'm actually going to get way more fulfillment from this other part of it that I think is like really cool.
Right.
And so I'm still motivated to like bring 100%. I think probably the worst of all worlds though is when I've seen people who are just completely phoning it in, and they're like, this band isn't paying me shit, so like I don't really care or whatever. And it's like, well, but like if you don't even care, like you just shouldn't be here.
That,
you know, like that
reflects poorly on the individual.
That's what I mean. It's like you took the gig.
Yeah, you got paid. You're getting paid to do a job. You should do the job.
Yeah, don't complain about it after the fact. Like no one tricked you. It's like you didn't know, you know, that you're making X amount a week or whatever. It's like,
yeah, you chose.
You know, yeah, like you chose to be here. Like, you know, represent them the way you're supposed to represent them. I've certainly run into that over the years. You know, even as far back as when I was like working as a roadie for bands, you know, and I other people that were like teching for bands or whatever, and you know, and then in the world of sound, like seeing different people in different roles on tours where they're just like not even remotely trying, and they don't care, and you're just like, man,
I hate seeing that.
yeah, that sucks. Because I feel like, well, you know what, there's somebody out there who probably would, give their right arm to have this job. Even though you think the pay sucks, there's someone out there who would probably be really happy to be doing this and wants the experience and wants to cut their teeth. And I feel like you're actually preventing a more eager person from filling this role. Like it's, so it's like unethical on multiple levels.
Right.
That you're not delivering, because you're not delivering ethically for the person that's paying you, and you're also depriving someone else who could be doing a way better job and like keeping them out of the role. Like that sucks. Yeah, and but that's, of course, that's nothing that's exclusive to the touring concert industry. That could, that sort of stuff can be found in every sector.
Right.
Where there's just lazy people who are phoning it in, and they have like their justification for why they're doing subpar work or whatever.